I saw something on the internet yesterday that piqued my interest. Because as well as I think the DBs have played in LSU's camp, and that has been a far, far cry from the last 2 years, trust me. I haven't seen a lot of interceptions being made. Every once in a while, like Harold Perkins got one on Nussmeier in a 7-on-7 period, kind of baited into it over the middle. But I haven't seen a lot of interceptions. Saw one on LSU's Twitter handle yesterday, not when we were in person, from DJ Pickett. And his role on this team fascinates me because I think it unlocks a lot of different things if it works out. You look at a lot of different guys on this roster, I can tell you what their role is going to be. I know what Weeks' role is going to be. I know what Harold Perkins' role is going to be. I know what Jack Pyburn's going to be asked to do or Caden Durham's going to be asked to do. I know Chris Hilton's role on this team. I'm getting to a point where I know what A.J. Halsey's role on this team is going to be. I know what they're going to use Jacoby and Guillory for. There are so many guys that I feel very comfortable in their roles. Pickett, I don't. I don't know what to make of him because he rarely runs with the ones. That's almost always Ashton Stamps and Mansour Delane. I don't know if he could potentially be in there in nickel packages or if they're just going to leave Perkins out there or if it means something different like, they bring a safety down like Cooley and put Spears or Jordan Gilbert back there. I don't know if Jordan Gilbert moves in. Like, I'm not certain the nickel and dime looks because we see them at practice, but we see rotations in them. And like my kind of thought in the summer when I was thinking about what the LSU secondary could look like before I ever watched them in practice in action, I was like, Pickett seems like he could maybe play on the outside, and that might kick Delane or Stamps down inside where you've got a guy that can cover that's down there, and you know that Delane's not afraid to tackle and Stamps isn't either. I don't know if I want Pickett playing in there. I don't know if he's ready to tackle. He's just skinny. He's not, in terms of his weight, he's like 190, 195 pounds, which is not skinny until you see he's 6'5", and you're like, oh, that he is skinny. And so if he can come on and change the rotation of that defense, it could be a big, big deal. And I didn't get a good feel for what Pickett was early in camp for one very obvious reason. He was working against Chris Hilton in every rep, all of them. Well, nobody's going to look very good working against Chris Hilton every rep. Nobody on that field wants to run with him. And, oh, by the way, he's 4 years older than DJ Pickett. So I didn't get a great sense for that. But since that time where those one-on-ones have been fewer and far between and he's kind of matched up with some other guys, he's been really physical, and he's made some plays. We went out there on Monday to practice, and I told you this after practice, but they threw at him in the red zone 3 or 4 different times, and none of them were completed. Now, I would contend that probably 2 of them were pass interference, but he was there, and he's being physical. He's not scared of contact. He's not shying away from the contact, and he's in position to make a play on the man and the ball. Is he a little bit too physical at times? Maybe, but I'll take that. That's the first step to being in position in a good corner. But you figure that DJ Pickett is in the same conversation as some of the best cornerback recruits that LSU has ever signed. That's Patrick Peterson. That's Derek Stingley. That's Eli Ricks. That's Kevin Tolliver. That's Christian Fulton. That's all these guys. And they had varying degrees of success at LSU, but they were a top 2 or 3 cornerback in the country, which is what Pickett is. I just didn't know as of August 1st, like, is this guy ready to go out there and physically mix it up? And I know he will against Louisiana Tech in week 2, and I know he will against Southeastern in week 4. And I know that over time, guys grow up. But, like, Eli Ricks had a pick 6 in his first game. No, never mind. That was his first year against Florida. He had a big play against Mississippi State in that first game, not a pick 6. But he was ready to go. Stingley was ready to go. Patrick Peterson was ready to go. Morris Claiborne was just about ready to go. Tre'Davious White started about 4 games into his first year. And those are the guys we're talking about with Pickett. And I see him make a play on the ball in that Twitter video, and I'm like, all right, they're starting to see some things. And you've got 2 very veteran, solidified corners in Stamps and Delane on the outside. But I'm just curious how much better LSU's defense can be if Pickett comes onto the field. whether that moves Delane or Stamps down, or Pickett goes down, or Perkins moves up to the line of scrimmage and Pickett plays there. Like, I'm not sure. That's beyond my level of expertise and understanding with this team to this point, but I'm excited for it because I'm looking at this team as a potential championship caliber team. I'm looking at this team that can compete for the SEC championship, compete to get into the playoff, and compete to make a run in that playoff. And for that to happen, you've got to have some guys develop and hit their ceilings. And the ceiling for Pickett is astronomical. And if he can come in and show out and make plays on the ball and not be pushed around and not be overwhelmed by the speed and be ready to go, it makes LSU a lot better. And I think the staff knew this. I think they knew this. And that's why Corey Raymond had him line up across from Chris Hilton for 2 weeks straight. Because that is baptism by fire. That is figuring things out really quickly. Sink or swim, kid. And it feels like he's swimming right now because he's getting better. He's making more plays on the ball. And that's an exciting, exciting thing. DBU needs badly to resurrect because it has been gone for a few years. Pickett is such a big piece of that if it can work out. And right now, kind of feels like you're trending in the right direction with him, especially with the play he made yesterday on the football for an interception. So we'll see him again tomorrow. We'll see all the LSU team tomorrow. Certainly have a practice report up on LouisianaSports.net, and we'll be talking about it on tomorrow's show, first with Preston and then my practice report to follow. So looking forward to that. Hey, thanks for watching Hunt on LSU. Before you get out of here, do us a couple of favors. Hit that like button, leave your comments below, and subscribe to the channel for all your Fighting Tiger football talk. See you next time.